Last episode, Ben got the Omnitrix. Grandpa was suspicious as hell knowing about aliens. Gwen proves she doesn't need powers by one-shotting a drone with a shovel, and Vilgax is still recovering in space, plotting revenge. Now let's get into episode 2. We open with Ben as Heat Blast, saving people from a burning building. Cool, right? But here's the thing. I'm pretty sure he caused that fire. Like, bro, you're a fire alien. The building is on fire. Coincidence? Some kid walks up and thanks him, and Ben is eating it up. He's like, really? It's all in a day's work. Acting like he's been doing this for years. My guy, you've been a hero for like 1 day. Calm down. So there's this trading card called the Gold Sumo Slammer card that Ben is obsessed with finding. He uses gray matter, a tiny genius alien form, to dig through cereal boxes at the store looking for this rare card. And Gwen calls him out. You're supposed to use your powers to help people, not find some stupid trading card. She's right. But Ben has this entitlement thing going on. He's thinking, I saved people from a fire. I deserve this card as a reward. That's not how heroism works, my guy. This episode shows us why the Omnitrix timeout is a real weakness. Ben transforms to show off to some robbers, times out in front of them, and suddenly he's just a 10-year-old kid. The robbers are like, you're not so scary anymore, and start chasing him. The cops show up and tell Ben to step aside because this isn't playtime. Humbling moment. When you don't have powers, you're just a kid in over your head. Okay, let me introduce you to Dr. Animo. This guy was a promising researcher in veterinary science, smart dude, had real potential. But then he didn't win some award called the Verities Award, and he completely crashed out. Like bro lost a trophy and decided, I will destroy society. That's the most pathetic villain origin I've ever heard. Also, his landlord comes to collect rent, and Dr. Animo straight up feeds him to a giant frog. This man said, I'm not paying rent anymore, and chose violence. Dark humor for a kid's show, honestly. Dr. Animo has this device called a transmodulator that can mutate animals into giant monsters, reanimate dead or dormant cells, basically bring extinct creatures back to life. He's missing 2 components to complete it. And guess where those components are? The grocery store. This genius scientist is robbing a grocery store for parts. What a fall from grace. Animo shows up at the store with a giant frog. Ben's Omnitrix is on cooldown. He can't transform. So what does he do? He improvises, uses shopping carts, athletic moves, actually pretty clever stuff. But Gwen, when things get serious later, she's throwing hands with martial arts. This girl doesn't have an Omnitrix. She doesn't have powers. She just has skills and zero fear. When a pterodactyl grabs her, she's not even scared. She's just annoyed, disappointed even. Gwen might be my favorite character, honestly. She stands on business every single episode. Animo's big plan is to turn Washington, D.C. into Washington, B.C. He goes to the Natural History Museum and reanimates a woolly mammoth, a T-Rex. He's going to storm the Verities Award ceremony with prehistoric beasts and demand his trophy. All of this chaos for a trophy that he didn't win 5 years ago. Bro has been holding this grudge for half a decade. That's actually mental illness. Ben transforms into forearms for the first time. This form is basically the tank build, maximum physical damage. He picks up the mammoth and throws it. Just raw power. When you need to punch something really hard, forearms is your guy. Later, Ben uses Stinkfly, a flying insect alien, pterodactyl, and chase down Animo. But here's a scary thought. What if you're flying and the Omnitrix times out? You just fall to your death. That's actually terrifying. Let me add to the evidence file. 1. He had a fire extinguisher ready in the RV again. And asbestos seat covers? What kind of dangers is this man preparing for? 2. He says, just like the good old days, when they're chasing a giant mutant parrot. What good old days, Gramps? 3. When Gwen asks what he did before retiring, he says he was a plumber. Just a plumber. With this much knowledge about heroism and aliens? Sure, bro. 4. He pulls up in the rust bucket during the museum fight and says, somebody call for a taxi? That's a movie line. This man thinks he's an action hero. 5. His whole philosophy about heroism. It's not about getting something, it's about knowing you did something good. Sounds like someone who's been a hero before. Grandpa is hiding something big. I'm calling it now. He's been fighting aliens or monsters his whole life. Plumber is definitely a code word for something. Here's where the episode gets smart. Dr. Animo is obsessed with winning a trophy for external validation. Ben is obsessed with finding a rare trading card for external validation. They're two sides of the same coin. Grandpa drops this line: "It's not about getting a reward. It's about knowing you did something good. Being a hero is its own reward." And by the end, when Gwen genuinely thanks Ben for saving her, that means more than any card or trophy could. Ben is starting to understand what heroism actually means. It's not about recognition. It's about doing the right thing because it's right. Animo finally gets his hands on the Verities Award trophy at the ceremony, but Ben destroys his transmodulator and all his prehistoric beasts go down. This man did all of that, fed his landlord to a frog, terrorized a city, reanimated dinosaurs for a trophy he held for like 30 seconds. The cops arrest him and he's screaming, "I deserve that award." No, you don't, bro. You need therapy. 1. Cooldown is dangerous. Ben is vulnerable when he can't transform. 2. Grandpa keeps dropping hints. Good old days. Plumber. Heroism philosophy. 3. Gwen is skilled without powers. Martial arts. Fearless attitude. 4. Ben is learning, starting to understand heroism isn't about rewards. 5. Villain patterns. This show has Villain of the Week episodes between main plot. Here is the list of aliens discovered so far. 3 more aliens to discover. This was a solid Villain of the Week episode. Dr. Animo is pathetic, but in an entertaining way. Dude crashed out over a trophy and committed multiple crimes, including what I'm pretty sure is murder by frog. The parallel between his trophy obsession and Ben's card obsession was clever writing. Gwen continues to be the real one. No powers, all skill, zero fear. And Grandpa, bro, what were you really doing in those good old days? Plumber my ass. No Vilgax this episode, but I'm sure Squidface is still plotting in space.